Here's my true story. Encounter with a mimic. It was a rainy Saturday evening when my parents decided to head out for dinner, leaving my older sister and me alone for the first time. I was around 8, and she was 12, old enough to be in charge, or so my parents thought. The storm outside had intensified, and the rhythmic patter of rain against the windows had turned into a heavy downpour. We were curled up on the couch, watching cartoons, when the phone rang. My sister and I exchanged a glance. Who would be calling this late? She hesitated before answering. "Hello," she said cautiously. I watched her face twist into confusion, then something darker, fear. "Mom, wait, what? What do you mean we're screaming?" she stammered, her voice trembling. "No, we're fine. We're both fine." I sat up, alarmed. "What's wrong?" I asked, but she shushed me, her eyes wide. When she hung up, she looked pale. "Mom said someone called her. They said it was me. They told her I was screaming for help." I froze. What? Why would someone do that? My sister shook her head, trying to reassure me, but I could see she didn't believe her own words. "Probably a prank. Don't worry." Minutes passed, and the air grew heavier. The lights flickered once, then twice. We laughed nervously, trying to shake the unease. But then the phone rang again. This time, my sister hesitated. Finally, she picked up. "Hello," she said, her voice shaking. Suddenly, her face went pale again. "What do you mean, you hear screaming?" she whispered. She put the call on speaker. It was our dad's voice, frantic and desperate. "I just got a call from your mom. She said she heard you both crying and screaming for help. What's going on? Are you okay?" "We're fine," my sister insisted, her voice cracking. "We haven't made any calls. We're just sitting here." Dad was silent for a moment before he said, "Stay inside. Don't open the door for anyone. I'm coming home now." The line went dead. We sat there, paralyzed, unsure what to do. That's when we heard it. A faint knock at the back door. It was slow and deliberate, like someone was testing us. "Don't," my sister whispered when I moved to peek. "Stay here." The knocking grew louder, more insistent, then suddenly stopped. Silence stretched across the room, thick and oppressive. Then, clear as day, we heard my own voice call out from the other side of the door. "Help me. Please let me in. It's me." I froze. My sister's face turned as white as a sheet. "That's not you," she whispered. The voice outside shifted. This time, it was hers. "I'm hurt. Please open the door." Neither of us moved. The knocking started again, faster now, almost frantic. My sister grabbed my hand and dragged me upstairs to her room, locking the door behind us. We sat there in the dark, clutching each other, listening as the knocking turned to pounding, echoing through the house. When my parents finally came home, the noise stopped instantly. We ran downstairs, crying, and threw ourselves into their arms. They checked every door and window, but everything was locked. There was no sign of anyone or anything. Later, when they called the phone company, they were told no calls had been